Hello and welcome back to my latest video of Dying Light. As always, I am your host, the Mad Hatter. And we are here at the pawn shop, which is what I didn't mention earlier, I forgot to. Dawood gave us the key to his pawn shop because we handed him a handgun earlier. Because he wanted to take the gun so he can go and move his family somewhere safe and be able to protect them. So right now we're using the environment to go and kill off the zombies. Now the yellow zombies, when they die, like in a fire or something like that, there's other zombies around them, if they're close enough, will choke on the fumes from that. So, but the moral of the story is always use the environment to your advantage. If they're standing in water, if you have something, if you have a weapon that is upgraded for electricity, like Ben Franklin's key and whatnot, do it. If you have a flammable liquid, throw some fireworks into it and you'll be alright. So, at any rate, so we're here at the pawn shop. We're going to go ahead and lift up this gate. I half expected when I lifted up the gate to have monsters coming at me like it did in when we had to go and get the antenna up for Rise, so we can clear the radio signal so everybody can talk to each other. So we're gonna check the drawer right here. Oh, okay. Always check the cash registers; they're fun. Let's see. There we go. Go in here. And let's see what kind of goodies are in here. Ooh. A med kit. Nice. Household chemicals. Ooh, lockpicks. Wonderful, wonderful lockpicks and pipes, and I'll only turn those pipes into more lockpicks anyway because they're metal parts. Let's see, wrenches, tape, and metal parts and nails. Oh, it's like Christmas. It's Christmas in July. Woohoo! And I'm gonna grab all this, and now as I oh hey, there's the action figure that we would ask me to get for him for his son, and there's that creepy teddy bear again. The teddy bears are stalking me. I know this for a fact. Yeah, I'm on to you, buddy. Anyway, I'm on to that teddy bear. There we go. Grabbing all the string. As I had stated before, all little bits help. Damn teddy bears, man, I swear. Demon teddy bears from hell. Now this I didn't see this at first until I had used the little, if you press the X button, it sends off a little power, it sends off like your survival senses. And that's where you get those little symbols that pop up only when you do that. So we close the door and we find a note and a picture of dude right here with his arms like, hey man, like what's up? Now, this is just a theory, and I may be wrong. This enemy that we're about to kill here, I'm trying to figure out if. Now I don't know for sure. This is just a theory of mine. However, I think that if you hit them with a bladed weapon or a pointed weapon, that they'll have a higher tendency to explode than they do with a blunt, like a blunt force weapon. So it's just something to think about. I'm not an expert. I'm just throwing it out there. Now, one of the things. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, folks. Okay. Now, I'm just thinking that that may be the case. I'm not very sure. I think it's just how and where you hit them, really. But I could be wrong. I'm just throwing it out there. Now, let's go ahead and climb up here. And let's see. Now, mind you, let's see. All right, here we go. So now we're going to go ahead and open this up. Now, mind you, those guys are dangerous in their own way, because when they explode, runners are attracted to them during the day. At night, it's even worse, because then the volatiles and the runners are attracted to that, and then you're going to be royally screwed, and hard at that. So that's why I had stated, when you have that one mission, before you pick up that drop, do yourself the favor.
Attention
and
everyone, this is Brecken.
Mark.
If anyone sees Dawood, get him back to the tower ASAP. He's got a gun. I repeat, he's got a gun. He winged a guard on his way out.
Oh no.
Excuse me. And what happens is, just before you get to that point, grab your map and put a waypoint on the nearest safe house. Then when you get to the where the drop is, run to that point, because what's going to happen is that's where you're first introduced to the volatiles. And what happens is that from there it becomes a lot easier to be able to have a point of reference of where to run. Because if you just try to go straight for the tower, it's not going to help you. The nearest safe house should be fairly close to where you are. So go ahead and use that as bad as it sounds, because you can earn more points if you actually can get from point A to B. But the only time I've ever really succeeded at that, and I'm not going to lie, going from that point over to the tower, was when I played the plus mode, which I'm currently still playing, and I had the grappling hook, and I was able to go from place to place with that in a lot quicker time, without having to deal with the volatiles. And I hate the volatiles with passion. I really do, especially when it comes to like the bolter mission, like where you got to get the bolter flesh. Oh my god. Another thing that I wish I did was upgrade the weapon with some of the blueprints that I have, because I have a few of them at this point. And upgrading your weapons is always a good thing, because fighting these guys right here, I could have really used it. And I don't like fighting Rise's guys, but I also needed the points from the drops. And the drops actually work out really well. And I actually love the combat in the game. I feel it's very smooth. You gotta really, it keeps you on your toes. I mean, honestly and truly. And I love how
Now you're just making me mad.
how the AI, as you go on in the game, the AI slowly starts to get smarter and smarter, and it's more and more challenging. And even like the runners and the volatiles, they all get a little boost to their intelligence, how they act and or react, which is really cool. So I really enjoy that. Oh my god, it is just too awesome. So basically, as the game goes on, the AI gets smarter, and it becomes a lot more challenging, and being able to beat those challenges is most of the fun, because it's forcing you to think in newer and different ways, because there's more than like the old saying goes, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and you got to think in terms of like, okay, we have this many enemies, and like if you have multiple enemies around, and you use the environment to your advantage, like I said before. If you got a bunch of zombies around and there's flammable liquid, throw firecrackers into the center of the
This means we can survive
of the flame of that pool of gas or whatever it is, and they'll go straight to it. Or if there isn't that, and there's a bunch of zombies all put together, throw a Molotov. That also helps. And I think with the Molotovs, if you throw a Molotov into a huge grouping of them, what ends up happening is that you go and burn. It's not just it doesn't have just the area of effect, but they will actually go bumping into each other, and they'll light each other on fire as well. So it kind of perpetuates it if you do it just right. But the environment is always to be used to your advantage, and try to use that to your advantage always. Now, I can't say that enough. That's like the one piece of advice I was given from a lot of my friends who do actually play this. Now, one of the things that I ran into with this game was that it's kind of funny. I would run into situations where I had to like literally step away.
Jade called me. She's taking the explosives to Saeed. She wanted me to talk to Rahim about the volatile hive and how she wants him to stay the hell away from it.
And sometimes, and I want to just say this right now, sometimes it's best to try to do something, fail, and keep trying at it, even if it means you have to step away from it, to clear your head and think about the situation. 9 times out of 10 for me, stepping away, doing something else, and coming back to it with a clearer head has actually helped me to look at the problem and come up with a solution for it. Because it is annoying when you're trying to beat a certain part and your adrenaline starts going and you're like, and like you can't beat this one part, and a part or two, and it just really gets to you.
Crane, Saeed told me about the explosives you guys found. How perfect is that? Jade gave them to him. Saeed used to be on a bomb squad, so he knows about that stuff.
Yeah, kid. That was a lucky find. Would have been better to turn up some antizin, though.
My buddy Omar is making sure Saeed's putting good timers on those things. We have to be able to get our asses out of there before they blow.
Whoa, we? There's no we in this. I mean, yeah, that nest needs to go. Now it's possible, but if it gets done, I'm doing it on my own.
But it's my plan.
And I will execute it perfectly, I promise.
But Ah, shit. There's no use arguing with you, is there? Fine. I'll contact you as soon as Saeed's finished with the charges.
Raheem, do we have a deal?
I guess.
Do we have a deal?
Yes. We have a deal.
Okay, one more thing. I keep seeing this bizarre kind of infected. Is Dr. Zera out at his trailer? I'd like to talk to him about it.
Nah, he's down in sick bay visiting Dr. Lena.
Thanks, kid. I'll see you soon.
Okay, right here I chose the shield because eventually I wanted to be able to get to those lower tier items right there, because they do all branch out to one another. Now, going into this with a clear head is always the best way to go. Let's see, we got to go down to the. Let's see, we go down here. And to the right. Let's see. Wait. No, where is it up? Or is it up here? Wait a minute. No, I think I was right the first time. Wait, no. Let's see. I think over here is a school.
And then Gretel shoved the Wicked Witch into the oven and burned her up. She and her brother Hansel were now free to go home to their daddy, who was worried sick about them. Despite being only small children, Hansel and Gretel managed to outwit the witch. You see, this fairy tale is true. Even children can outwit an evil witch, if they're smart. So you need to be smart. And you have to remember that hungry people can do terrible things. You all need to be on the lookout for bad witches and monsters, who may try to lure you with breadcrumbs.
And yeah. First of all, when I was going to school, we would all have to sit there and look, and there's that damn teddy bear again. Evil damn what the hell? Okay. That's not creepy. It's just following me around and stalking me. Okay. Let's go find out Zera. Yeah. Anyway. So, let's see. Where the hell? Oh yeah, that's right. It is below me. Alright, so we gotta go down here. Yeah, it was down here to the right. Yeah, we gotta go through this door. Okay. Let's see. There's Lena. There's dude. Where's old dude?
Hey, Doc, you got a minute?
Hey, there he is.
Oh, it's Kane. Yes. How can I help you?
Hey, Crane. Remember when I told you about that weird infected I saw? You know, the one who took one look at me and hauled ass away? Well, I just saw another one, and it did the same thing.
I believe I have heard your colleagues talk about those creatures. Bolters, they call them. Apparently, they favor certain areas of town over others, but only appear at night. I don't suppose you could catch one and bring me a sample of its flesh. You see, a thought occurred to me. A long shot, I realize. But if these creatures favor areas where I left my experimental bait, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Please do obtain a sample, but it has to be fresh. So you have to get it back to me quickly.
Okay, and where exactly do I find these things?
I'm told that quartermaster chap has been keeping track of them.
Okay, now the bolters and their flesh. Now you have to go out at night to do this, and I had to use a myriad of different items. I had to use Molotovs and throwing knives and stars in order to take down one of these bolters in a place that was relatively close to both the tower and a safe zone. Now I'm going to stop over here and just drop off some stuff real quick. There we go. And now we're going to go and talk with the quartermaster. Now, you'll see in an upcoming video how I went about this. It's just that this particular
Sarah
mission
asked
was
me to
just
bring
a
him a
pain in the
sample from
ass.
that bolter I saw in front of the school. He said they've been spotted in specific areas of the city, so I should focus my search in those places. He also said I needed to get that sample back to him while it was still fresh. So I gotta move.
Now, basically, what ends up happening is that this is that is a main mission. So you have to be able to get that. Which I did a few of the side missions, just because it sounded like a good idea at the time, and plus I didn't feel I was ready enough to take on that.
What can I do
mission.
for you?
Doc Zera says you know where I should look for these, bolters. Super fast infected, covered in big green blisters.
Oh, yeah. I can point you in the right direction. Here, and here. Though you ask me, if trouble don't come looking for you, no reason to go looking for trouble.
Words to live by, thanks.
Folks, I'm getting to the end of this video. I want to thank you for watching. Y'all have a great night and an even better tomorrow. And please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. Thank you, folks, and good night.